Hi, Nancy Showalter here again, and from beautiful Ecuador, our home in the Andes Mountains. And today, as I promised, I'm going to give you a tour of our property. So we'll begin, and I'll just sort of take you around. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. So we'll begin. This is our little home that we remodeled. And if you look out here, you can see the one mountain on the side of us. We're in the little town that is basically a valley between two mountains. And you can't see the peak because it rarely exposes itself, but it is much higher than that. And it's a little hard sometimes. You know, camera never catches the glory of and the beauty of everything that's in nature. But our property, we have a name. I don't know if you can see that. We named it Santa Maria. And we have our beautiful, beautiful palm tree that we absolutely love. That was about as tall as me when we first planted it a number of years ago. And it's really grown, and it's the type that will really grow very tall, could get up to about 20 feet, and be very, very gorgeous. And we have a lot of flowers, beautiful flowers, bougainvilleas. This one, the bougainvilleas go through stages where they lose everything. They look like they're dying, but they're really not. And this one is now just coming back from its little stage. And then we have some beautiful flowers just along here. Maybe you can see those, and the beautiful colors and the flowers there. Then we have this little island also of beautiful flowers, bright colors, bring a lot of joy. And then over here, we also have flowers that bloom along the wall, but they're not blooming right at the moment. We have some honeysuckle and more bougainvilleas. This is a little palm tree. This little guy will never get very big because he's just a smaller tree. It's not like the other one. And a lot of beautiful flowers around it. We have a real nice sunny day today, a little windy because we're moving into the dry season, and the dry season is windier. Here's our tree, and maybe you can see it's a big tree. And when we look back at our property, you can see these pine trees. They've grown huge since we've been here. And these pine trees are a little bit rare, actually, but they're awesome because they break the wind that comes up through the valley there. And it can be quite strong. So we're very fortunate to have those trees. Those were here when we came, but then a lot of our trees we have planted. This is a walnut tree. It's not, it looks pretty pathetic at the moment, but it also loses all of its leaves. Looks like it's totally dead. You're ready to cut it down, and then it all comes back. So it's in the process of coming back. Hasn't been too many fruits for us because of this big tree next to it. It actually overshadows it, but we haven't wanted to cut down the tree, so we just let it go. And then we go over next to our organic garden, and it's in various stages of growth also. So we have a lot of green vegetables. We have root vegetables. This is what they call camote, which is like one breed of their sweet potatoes. And we have here what they call zanahoria blanca, which is white carrots, and they're delicious substitute like for potatoes. And then you see that really sweet hanging fruit there. It gets ripe, falls off, and then it's actually kind of tart, so you do have to mix it with some honey or something. We have some herbs there in the center, and We are just replanting our lettuce and some of the greens, so those aren't up just yet. And that's jicama, that tall. Then we'll go in the back of the property. Actually, I'll give you a little shot of our building that we built after we came, which is our office. That's where I work from. And then we have shop. My husband has a shop, which is here. And then we'll move to the back of the property. And this is where we have chickens. I should have brought some bread out because then they would all come and eat, and it's kind of fun watching them. I might even get some. But we have some little baby chicks. You might be able to, you can maybe hear them. You can see, they're the cutest little things. And little chicks are amazing because they birth themselves. This is our wood pile for we have a fireplace. Now, this here is a coconut tree. Now, there's a bee. A coconut tree, it takes about 10 years before you get coconuts, and we've had maybe about 5, maybe 6. So we're looking forward. This tree is not in bloom now, but it's an amazing, it just gets full of flowers. It's totally amazing. Now, we have also, this is a tree with a local fruit called chirimoya. And it's just like when they're ripe and you cut them open, it's like eating pudding right out of the fruit. Very nice. And I'm trying to see if we can find one because we've picked quite a few that you can actually see. There's one. It's not ready, it's very small, but at least you get the idea of what the fruit looks like. This is a peach tree that we cut back, hasn't been doing too much. It's not that old, but we do have like 13 lemon trees. And you can see there are lots of lemons right now on these trees. This is a mandarina tree, which produces these little small mandarin kinds of oranges. And more lemons. All these lemon trees were here when we came, so we did not plant that many lemon trees because we don't need that many lemons. We give them all away. This is a wonderful orange tree. Here's one of the avocado trees. See, we have the avocado. They're delicious avocados. These trees were like my height when we came, and now they're huge. They give us a lot of beautiful, wonderful avocados. And then we get to the back of the property where we have a nice shaded area. Of course, the chickens love it back here. Tall trees covered by big trees. Here are some of the little chicks. I don't know if you can see them. They run free, so they're all a little wild. The chickens are awesome. People say how stupid they are, but they're really not. And when you think about it, little chicks birth themselves. It's quite an amazing thing. You know the little eggs you buy in the store? They come right out of those eggs. There we get a better view as they scamper around, scared. Sorry, little guys. Don't mean to scare you. But they have to peck out of that hard shell to be born. And to me, it's just a great lesson in life in general, even for our business, because this is our compost. We put all of our fresh garbage here, and the chickens process it for us, and then that goes into the garden. Here's more lemon trees. Now we have fig trees too. They're awesome. We have a shaded area. These are jicama, macadamia nut trees. But unfortunately, we haven't seen any macadamia nuts. We planted those ourselves, and we haven't. Now we have a lot of aloe vera plants. We bought these aloe vera plants for like $1 each, and they're wonderful. So we have plenty of aloe vera, and we bought about 20 of them and put them in here. So we never run out of aloe vera. And I'll show you some of the fig trees. We have berries. We have our gardener here today, Gilberto. He's been with us for quite a few years. And this is a fig tree. There's no fruit on this one at the moment. These are raspberries, which are, you can kind of see, they're in the process of ripening. They're not ready just yet. We've already had a full crop of those. Oh, here's some that look ready. You can just pick them and eat them right off of that. Now let me see if any of the fig trees are. And this is our gardener, Gilberto. He's a great guy. He's been with us for quite a few years. Comes once a week and takes care of everything on the property. Mandarinas, I don't see. Let me see. I thought there were figs, but I don't see any on these trees. So then we have, let me see if I can find oh yeah, I see one of the trees. There's some more chickens here. There's one of the roosters. We'll talk about the chickens someday, because it's amazing to watch chickens and learn how their lifestyle is. These are figs. They're not ready, of course. They're still green, but we're kind of in the middle of a lot of things regenerating. So that's pretty much. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we have of interest. I guess we can go. But like I was saying about the chickens hatching themselves, think about it. It really takes a lot of work for those little chicks to break out of that egg. And then from like the first day, these are chicken coops we have. Sometimes when they're born, we like to keep them in the pen. We don't have them in the pen now because they're a little bigger, but because these chicks are like 4 or 5 weeks old already. But we have big birds that come along, get up in the trees and wait and scoop up the little chicks for lunch. So we try to keep them penned in when they're for a few weeks when they're first born. It's the back of the house and the office, and again the garden. So that's everything, pretty much. It's only a little over ½ an acre, if you can believe that, but it seems so much bigger, and people feel that way when they walk into the property. And on the other side of us, when we first moved here, this was all cornfield, except this little strip. But now there's 5 houses over there, 4 houses on the other side of the wall, and we have expats as well as Ecuadorians. In our little village, which is not terribly small, but when it goes up into the mountains, the villagers, this town though is primarily indigenous, the indigenous people, and Gilberto, you saw, was one of the indigenous. And even though things have changed quite a bit in 10 years, the tone of this town has not. It's still very much Ecuadorian, which we really like, even though there are Americans who have businesses here and different things, the business that do cater to the expats. But basically, it's just a pretty safe, quiet village, and crime is really low in all of Ecuador, but especially violent crime. But the one thing that is definitely prevalent is they love to steal. They like to steal your cell phones and your computers and then resell them on the market, so that, you know. So that is one thing you do have to watch for. But other than that, things are very safe, especially in our little town. So that's it for the day. I hope you enjoyed the tour. And remember now, you can click on the link below, wealthsystembreakthrough.com, and claim your free report so that you too can start an online business, learn what it takes, see if it's for you, and you can have freedom in your life too. You have a wonderful day. It's been fun taking you around, and we'll talk soon again. Bye-bye.